KINCROME acknowledges the traditional owners of this land on which we race and film on today. It is known that this land always was and always will be Aboriginal land. We acknowledge and give thanks to the elders past, present and emerging, and any Aboriginal people viewing this production.
FINKE is a whole new monster when it comes to the Australian Off-Road Championship.
Everybody shows up for this one race.
And this is the world stage. People come from all over the world to do this race.
Come out with these awesome machines and they just destroy the track.
FINKE's going to be freaking gnarly.
It looks insane.
The whoops are twice as deep.
It's the hardest race we're going to do.
I'm going to be pushing as hard as I possibly can. We can't help it, it's in our blood.
I'm a little bit nervous.
You're on the line like you are racing for your life.
When you're heading down that track and you think you know the track, you don't.
Like this is it. We need to win.
You've got to give it plenty of respect, otherwise the track bites you hard.
So my beast, her name is Squirtle. I do roll my car on a regular basis. She does land on her roof quite a lot. And the first ever roll I did, she landed on her roof and she just looked really cute. On her back, all four wheels up in the air, looked like a turtle. So the name that we gave her was Squirtle, which a lot of people know is a Pokemon, and it's cute as hell.
So this I call the Kraken 2.0. This car is the upgrade of my championship winning car that we called the Kraken. We had to beat a guy named James Ship. It was tight. We'd already named them the Kraken because we're like, this is gonna sink the ship. And we did, so the name stuck. Sold that car and the next car that Polaris gave us. And we built this one up and yeah, the Kraken 2.0 is the name.
Here she is. We call it the Phoenix. Risen from the ashes of the car that we burned down in FINKE. It's my old short course car because the car I had in FINKE was the latest and greatest Polaris you could have. And it was a beautiful car. We saved a few bits and I think each one of our cars has probably got a piece of the car that burned down on it. So I affectionately call it the Phoenix because it was pretty run down, so then we put a fair bit of time into it. And it's a good car and hopefully it brings me a podium in the championship. That's what I'm looking for.
So I drive a Polaris RZR 1000. It is obviously in the sport class, so it is an NA vehicle. The main structure of my car is very much an NA and NA Sport. Everything else around it, so my roll cage, everything like that, definitely has the benefits of a turbo car. It's strong, and that's the best compliment I can give it. It's a very strong car.
So I drive Polaris RZR Turbo S. My Polaris, compared to a stock Razor, is very different. So mine runs full Pro XP running gear as far as driveline. So Pro XP is the newest RZR.
I'm driving the mighty Polaris RZR Turbo S, legendary car. They're incredibly tough. Generally, you can pound them through anything, but I still find a way to break them. We've built it to do the Australian Off-Road Championship, one of the toughest off-road championships in the world. And we've gone and we've added chrome ollie arms from Lone Star. We beef up the standard Fox shocks that it comes with in respect that we just change the valving, we put a spring kit on them, got a tune in it. That's from the standard car, that's pretty much it, other than of course the safety gear, which are the race seats, the harnesses, the roll cage.
Squirtle, obviously, she keeps me safe, as she is. Her roll cage is insane. Other things that are out there keeping us safe is hands device, helmet. We've got our full fireproof driving suit, boots, socks, all of it. We're as safe as we can be.
This car we've built for a while, we've slowly made it better and better and tried different things, broken different things. But yeah, if you haven't pretty much thrown another 30 grand on top of buying the car to begin with, you're not gonna have a car like this. I run the standard engine, Pro XP gearbox, clutch, Brown Davis roll cage, Lone Star front control arms, RCV drive shafts, heavier sway bars, all chrome ollie control arms. Stock arm, it's perfect. They nailed it from the start. You don't have to change it and it's bulletproof. Wheels and tyres, obviously the best in the business. The Method race wheel with the BF Goodrich KR2, 32-inch Kevlar tyre. A standard Turbo S has a big tub on the back. I take all the tub off. Makes it a bit more convenient to work on. We run a very basic tune that all it does is take out the limiting factors that the factory Polaris put in to begin with. We do a lot of suspension work utilising the live valve system that this Polaris comes with from factory. So that means that they have active suspension, so I can change between 3 settings on the fly, as well as the car adapting to the environment as I drive. So it knows when it's jumping, it knows when it's braking, it knows when it's turning. The suspension at the moment is the best it's ever been. If you look at my car compared to a standard car, they're probably the main things you're going to notice different.
It's a never-ending saga. Basically, you pull them down. It doesn't sound like much when you're talking about it, but it takes ages in the workshop, especially when you've got, 3-4 cars to do.
I think I've tested this car out as best as I can, and this thing just gets up and keeps going. So I think it's the strongest car I know. Dad and Jack's car would not be able to survive what my car can survive.
Slammed into trees, slammed into other cars, all sorts of terrible, terrible things that you should never do to a vehicle. It's still going. The chassis we've never touched it with a welder, which is why we believe the Polaris is 100% the strongest platform out there, and it will be at FINKE.
The aim of this one is to try and just finish.
The side-by-side class is destructive at this event.
These cars get absolutely thrashed.
They are super strong.
It's just really weird because you sit in the shed and you get these cars perfect, and you're taking it to an event to absolutely just punish the thing into the ground, knowing that by the end of the event, if the car's still in one piece, you're going to have to go over every single nut and bolt, every bearing, every fluid, as well as find whatever problems you do have, rectify them.
Enjoy my stick and Joel, I'm overtaking you. See ya!
Suppose we're following the guys on the recce lap, checking out the track, going down.
The ultimate charge station. Getting through the airport with 40 plus GoPro batteries, where they're like, that's a lot of cables, that's a lot of lithium, but we made it. Plug and go, baby. Plug and go.
The track looks good. It's obviously not a lot of dust going on, so hopefully passing vehicles not moving too quick should be not so bad. We haven't seen the worst of it yet, but the big cars are going to be quite fast. We'll still have a good time, but we'll just have to play it smart and try and keep out of trouble. I think Jack's going to have a good time out here. Hopefully Eden has a good time too. Hopefully it's not too technical for her and she can just enjoy the drive. The hardest thing on the car out here is obviously heat and just the longevity of this race. You run into different temperature issues, whether it's your engine oil or your coolant. So hopefully the belts hold up. If we have a nice clean run, we don't push too silly, we won't have any dramas out here.
Oh, hang on, she might have a big head.
Aha! That's on enough.
Oh no! Oh, they busted the wheel.
That got so wild when you passed me.
Just a good old quadruple bounce off a whoop.
Oh mate, we had a bit of drama here. The boys brought the camera out and thought we'd turn it on, and the whoops got bigger and bigger, didn't they? And here we have a classic example of a side-by-side. The boys are into it. We'll get it fixed up and get home, and that's about it. Day's done. I went and raced round to the side-by-side championship at Correlbin last year with these guys. I thought he got injured and Jacko hit me up for a drive, and I was like, yeah, I'll jump in. And then me and Jacko ended up breaking a lot of stuff, and we ended up having a fat time, knocking down trees and stuff like that. Fully breaking his car, and we couldn't even get it home, so we had to walk up the hill. And it was just fun. It was a good weekend. A lot of laughs were had, a lot of beers were drank. So that's what it's all about, isn't it?
We're at Scrutineering. Scrutineering is where they check all the safety items in the car. First aid kits, fire extinguishers, all your harnesses, your helmets, driving suits, gloves. Pretty much anything to do with safety is the main priority here. Just making sure it's all up to spec and in the right dates, so that and they have the dates to make sure that it's not too old, because we want everything to do its job if it needs to be used. So that's basically Scrutineering, but it's also a bit of a party here at FINKE. We have music, there's food stalls, there's thousands of people here. We do giveaways. We're here in the method stand for tonight, which is really cool. We're giving away stickers and posters and signing posters for kids.
Cruz.
Cruz. That's a sick name. My name's Jackson. It's so boring.
I wish my name was Jackson.
Giving away the KINCROME scratchies that has been a massive hit.
Would you like some chance to win some KINCROME tools as well? There you go. We're going to run out of these real quick. There you go. You want to hold the beer as sticker? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thank you. Governor, do you like some stickers, mate?
Yes, please.
And yeah, it's a super cool night that I always look forward to. It's just a lot of fun. It's sort of, there's the pressure of the event, but it kind of takes it off. It's a bit of a party. And yeah, we're having a blast catching up with all the competitors that we haven't seen since last FINKE and checking out all the new vehicles. It's a really cool night, and it's really cold.
Stock up. Just geeking out, just fanning. Some memorabilia. Although I think I'm in the wrong spot. I've got last year's stuff here. I'm out of date. Instantly out of date.
What you doing there, Sam?
I actually no idea. No. We're putting the transponder on so we can get some lap times. Hopefully we've picked an appropriate spot. And if we haven't, well, we'll figure that out later.
Had some kids wanting us to sign their forehead. So me and Tommy did, and they loved it.
We're just fixing Eden's car because we had a little bit of a technical difficulty loading it this morning. Someone in high range, so it's wrecked the belt loading it. Well done. So now we're chucking a new one on it, which is good. But anyway, standard shenanigans.
Fresh belt, fresh skis.
Very nervous after seeing the track. I don't remember much of it from last year, but there's a few spots that I definitely remember.
Yeah, we didn't have a great run at FINKE last year. Obviously, we ended up catching another competitor.
We were coming along through a few tight corners and it got real dusty because we were right behind the car. Yeah, the track's gone left and we've gone right. Then everyone's tried to correct himself and get back on the track, and it just caught an edge.
We rolled in through a few trees
and rolled onto our side. We unbelted and then the whole car just went like woof, caught on fire.
When we were trying to get out, the car caught fire and it had broken an oil line in the rollover.
Everyone got stuck in the car for a bit, which was really scary.
Got a few burns on my back. Did scare me a bit. It was the closest I'd come to dying, I can tell you that.
We just stood back and just had to watch the car burn, which was really sad at the time.
Sad day when it burnt to the ground. There was nothing left. It shocked me, and it took me a little while to get back into a car, but what are we? 2-3 events down the track from there. I've completely forgotten about it.
Very nervous, but it'll still be good.
We're finally here. Prologue. Let's get it. It's a really, really, really good
What did
track.
you say on there?
It's a spectator track.
It is made for the people.
bits, Katie?
Yeah, Prologue was awesome.
Our prologue went great. After that lap, I'm feeling pretty fresh and ready to go.
The Kraken has destroyed ships.
Yeah, we had a ripper run. Jack was lightning quick.
Now get it ready for the big race tomorrow.
A couple of little dramas, so the clutching wasn't quite right and I was concerned about over revving. That's what it did. And then it popped some misfire codes, and popped the spark plugs out. They were terrible. So that means the fuel pump's probably bad. So we're changing the fuel pump, but we've got a fuel tank sitting on top of a fuel tank. So we had to move the first fuel tank to get to the fuel pump. At the moment, we're trying to fit a 10 amp fuse into a 7.5 amp hole. It takes 2 blokes to do it apparently. So you make sure you're going into the fuel, not into the water.
Fuel, water, same shit.
Yeah. So one of the things with Fink, I'm sitting here working on this. One of the boys comes over from another team. He's actually got a Can-Am, rocks up with a Polaris belt and goes, "Hey Simon, because this was in the trail, I don't need it anymore. You can have it." You know, they're $300. Like, you don't just give that stuff away. But this is Fink. Apparently you do. No, that's just the generosity of competitors around here. The off-road family, everyone's pretty close. We all help each other, and I love being part of it. It just makes you feel all warm inside. And a good place to be.
So 5:45 a.m. start at the track tomorrow. I cannot wait. So excited. Feeling good, feeling confident, really happy with how I ran today. So keen to just kind of jump back out and give the next 3 hours of racing a red hot crack.
Tank taking a high risk,
medium reward.
Hello. We didn't get to finish. I'm not too sure about Eden.
We've flown 2 belts in 120 Ks. We don't have a spare belt. We're fucked and we're stranded.
Yeah, so today started off really well. Like, we were flying, caught the 2 cars in front of us pretty quick. Heaps of fun. Obviously the whoops were a challenge in themselves, but got through them fine. Hit the 60k mark and the car just went nah, and it just made that noise that you know something's gone wrong. Right over the hill, belt obviously was fully snapped out. Put the new one back in, off we went. Got to 120k mark and yeah, second belt blew again and you just hear that. Rawr! She was angry as. We were pretty fortunate. There's some sick guys up on the hill who came down and just gave some moral support and kept us company until we found out that there's no other belts. It's the end of the day for us. We'll take a DNF and we'll try to get back out tomorrow and go for a finish.
Saved the day, didn't really do much. Come here for moral support. I've destroyed the belts.
I was over there eating breakfast and then decided to wander over and see if we could give him a hand.
Thank you, mate.
Come on!
The problem is when you're flat out button off, the belt just like basically explodes.
Yeah.
Any sharp edge will catch it.
That's racing. Fucking shit annoying racing. Fingers crossed for Jacko.
A lot better in soft. A lot better in soft. Actually absorbs the fucking prop. Nicely done, Doc. Nicely done, Samuel. Did that passes? No, haven't seen him. I still reckon the home buggy takes buffs better. Yeah, buddy. Well done. Well done. What a mission. That's unreal.
Oh yeah, it was feeling good. We just got in a routine, like a rhythm, just kept like picking people off. I was like, oh yeah, we'll go good. Like past 40 or 50 cars, did you see it?
Yeah.
Car's going good, belt temp's good, engine temp's good.
I was flying through the trees.
3 seconds out of barrel.
Oh well, FINKE 2022 ended well. What a cracker run, eh? 15k in, blew a motor. Bit unlucky, but oh well, we'll be back next year.
Hi Mom, I'm home! That's all.
So did we!
Yeah.
We blew 2 belts too!
And there's nothing left.
Have we done the same thing? We both blew.
Yeah, it just ran out of belts.
We just drove it too hard.
I just blew 2 in the first 50k. See if we can get another belt. No, I was flying. The buggy's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely could have been better. Still had fun. That's the main thing. Hopefully do alright tomorrow, make it all the way back.
It's like cat and mouse,
We
isn't
had
it? Because you
the
stopped
best race with that car off the start line. Nathan Shivers, he was great. Like it was just respect, you know. Like it was, we always left room for each other. And so coming all the way out of the stadium, we were just passing each other. Like I'd run up high, then he'd dive under, then I'd come back in under him there. It was just really good fun. Then we got onto the FINKE track, and I just stayed right up his butt. He ended up just like. After about 10 k's of it, he's like, okay, Simon's not going to give up here. Yeah. So he just went high on a corner. I've tucked up the inside, and then 10 k's later, I blew a belt. I gave him the thumbs up when he went past. I'm like, that was awesome. How good was Nate? That was good racing. That was good racing. Allowing space for each other, and fuck, that was cool. That's what racing's about.
No, we had a fairly rough run in the Kraken. Jack did an unbelievable job keeping on its wheels. The whoops chopped out a heap more than what we'd expected, even pre-running. I'm going to have to go for a little bit of a different tack. Probably look for some softer lines, see if we can get out of it a little bit earlier, because otherwise we're going to be in big trouble.
I think the real win here is you didn't roll it.
Yes! Didn't roll it! Didn't finish, but I didn't roll it.
Because I nearly rolled it 15 times, and it was terrifying.
We had a few close calls.
People have to race bikes on this. Are you for real?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not, is it?
But he didn't listen to my professional opinion and he decided to finish. But look, who am I to get in the way of someone who wants to finish FINKE? I wish it was me. By the way, him wanting to finish, the finish line is just there. And he crashed just there. So it can cuss me in finishing? Yeah, it is what it is. He definitely pulled something in his shoulder and his hip's going to hurt tomorrow, but a little bit of blood coming out of his ears, not good. No, that's not good. I told him not to go. I told him so it's fine. It's fine.
I'm genuinely scared for tomorrow because I know the pace I have to run. Because it's not because it's like I'm trying to win, it's because it's the only way the car doesn't roll. I'd actually rather just go hit a backflip ramp. I've got to the finish line jump and I said to Sam, dude, we have to put on a show.
Got to put a show on for the crowd though, Sammy. It's like the real star. Oh, you're stopped for a camera, aren't you?
Yeah, wedged it, full noise, jumped it, 3 bounces, like it twisted in the air. It was terrifying. I was looking out. FINKE is just FINKE, man. It's nuts.
You know, I take a heap of belts, and if I break belts, then I just keep doing it. Like Simon does swap belts a million times. So.
Throw belts at it.
Throw belts at it.
Home.
3 more belts.
Just get there, that is it. Hey, the race starts when you get down to FINKE, and you race back. If you don't get there, ain't no race. Let fate take its course.
Method off the
Can we skip it up enough though, or not?
I'm a problem solver, and this problem I can't solve.
You want to see the Polaris? What number is it? Oh, is it a 66?
We found him.
Andrew! Oh my God, we found him.
That was sheer luck.
Hey Simon, you just missed him, he's headed off.
Oh, he went back up to Alex.
Bugger.
We need to create other options.
Get a turbo one.
Oh,
A turbo belt.
we can try.
Dad's gonna try and do some woohoo magic.
No go on the belt front. We found him.
Found him, but
We found you one that you burnt,
Oh yeah.
so it's better than if the car will move, but it'll be in limbo the whole time. So it's only gonna do like 70.
It's not bad.
It moves. No,
We've got an option. Just check, make sure we've got a clutch. That's about 70 or 80. We've done this before.
you don't really have a choice.
No. But it will get you home.
Hey, gets me there in that car instead of in this car,
Mhm.
I'll be happy.
Hey, you made it.
I made it.
You made it, man. You finished.
Fucking, and my car's still pretty good except for a turbo by the sounds of it.
It definitely. Right, it was blowing a lot of smoke.
It did everything I wanted it to do. It did a little bit more. We had a couple of moments out there where I thought we weren't going to make it, but the Phoenix saved us. We had to stop a couple of times. We wrecked the drive shaft. We didn't wreck a belt. The belt was mint the whole way, so we ran out of fuel twice. But other than that, I'm stoked. It was nice to bring the car home today after the run we had yesterday. So yeah, just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Today was rough. We realised the work we did last night was not sufficient to get us home.
A long day in the back of the Silverado.
It was pretty rough.
That's Fink.
Oh, howdy team.
Broke stuff.
Ready?
Hey?
Get the fire extinguisher.
Oh, dude, you should have seen me, man. I was like full carb and cucumber. I'm like, got the fire extinguisher, car's on fire. I was like, oh, yep. Make sure you take the pin out first. Pull the pin out, because I've done it before and you like break it. Yep. And then you can't press it. And I was thinking like, man, this thing better work. Because it was only little, and I'm like, if it, you know, like I've got 10 seconds and it's gonna get big. Yep. And then we've got it out.
Load wheel bearing. Even though there was a brand new one in it before we left this morning. That's racing.
Take two, we figured out what actually failed. Our secondary clutch now has a lot of play that it's not supposed to have. So something in the gearbox has let go, which then oil has come up from behind the secondary clutch, straight out there and straight onto the turbo, which has caused the fire. But bit of a weird time to break a gearbox, just nursing it at 30. But that's Fink. That's racing. Came into day two with a positive mindset that we were going to just get the car down to the finish. We knew that our setup wasn't going to be super competitive without it breaking the car. But yeah, 30 k's in, quickly found out that we'd already done the damage. Everyone around us was amazing. The amount of people that stopped to make sure we're okay, making sure we have water. So we appreciate everyone that comes to this event because everyone cares about the competitors, which was great.
So this guy just got third in Fink in his first ever Fink. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
well done.
Cheers, boys.
That's awesome, man.
What we had put on the car didn't work together as it was meant to, and yeah, we got stuck in gear and it was over from there. I was warned that the car was only going to go about 70 k's an hour. 2 k's out, clipped an edge wrong, and basically it put me to a stop, which Jacko told me not to do. Got stuck in gear, belt slipped off, and it wasn't going back on, and basically we didn't want to do any more damage to the car. Either way, the turbo parts that we put on it didn't work.
Definitely wasn't smooth sailing, but we never expected that.
You need all your stars to align to get these cars to the finish.
It's not the best result,
but we all got back in one piece. The cars aren't so good. Every car suffered damage. I don't think anybody got through this event cleanly.
This is the best race I've ever done. I haven't finished it. I will one day. But honestly, yeah, this is the most fun I've had in off-road racing.
When you love motorsport as much as I do, it becomes a pilgrimage and something that you just, it's not that you want to do it, it's not that you have to do it, it's just something that you do. And it's as simple as that. You need to come to FINKE.
I've never not finished a race until FINKE, so it really defeated me in that way, but I can't be mad at it, it's FINKE.
Proud of the kids, they did a great job. It was so tough for them. I think everything went wrong that could have went wrong, but back here now, still smiling, laughs and telling funny stories, so that's the stuff I love.
We got a lot of prep to do on old squirts.
Preparation for Love Day is extensive.
Lots to do. Pull apart and put back together and hope for the best in Love Day.
So how's the mullet project going?
Yeah, good. Yeah, the girls still love it, so.